A few days ago I was browsing around and landed on this site, a Spanish vermouth brand. The part that caught my eye comes a little further down the page. You scroll into a section with this bold red illustration of a woman in a pair of sunglasses, and as you keep going, the view pushes in toward the glasses. They fill the screen, and just as they do, they stop being flat shapes. A video fades in inside the lenses, like the glasses were little windows the whole time. I thought it was such a clever idea, using the sunglasses as a frame for something playing behind them. So I wanted to build my own take on the concept. So I grabbed a free illustration of FreePic, a woman wearing a pair of round glasses, and built everything on top of that. I animated a couple of glares sweeping across the lenses using SVGs, scaled the whole thing in toward the glass as you scroll, faded an image in inside the lens, and added a headline that reveals itself word by word once we are deep inside. This is what I ended up with. I built it with GSAP, Lennis for the smooth scrolling, and a little bit of SVG trickery to turn the sunglasses into a window. The interesting part is that we never actually draw the lenses ourselves. We let the illustration tell us where they are, and we build everything else on top. If you would like to grab the source code for this project, along with hundreds of other micro projects and a brand new website template every month, you can check out the Pro membership through the link in the description. And if you find this kind of content useful, a like on the video and a subscribe really do help the channel grow. Alright, let's get started. Let's talk about the assets first, because this whole effect really lives and dies on the illustration we pick. I headed over to FreePic and grabbed a free one, a hand-drawn pop art illustration of a girl in a pair of round sunglasses. The important thing here is that I downloaded it as an SVG, not a flat image. We need it as an SVG because we are going to reach inside it later, find the lenses, and build on top of them. A PNG would give us none of that. Before committing to it, I spent a little time actually studying the SVG to see whether the concept was even possible with this particular file. So I dropped it onto a page, opened up DevTools, and started digging through the markup. And this is the part that made everything click. Inside the SVG, each lens is drawn with its own linear gradient. That soft pink to purple tint you can see on the glasses. That gradient is what is giving the lenses their glassy look, and it is exactly the thing we are going to customize later with a bit of CSS and JavaScript to bend the artwork to our needs. Once I confirmed that was in there, I knew the effect would work, and the rest was just building on top of it. I'll leave a link to this exact illustration in the description, so if you want to follow along with the same file, you can grab it and start from the same place I did. And really, that is almost everything. The only other thing you will need is a placeholder image, the one that reveals inside the glasses as you zoom in. It genuinely does not matter what you use here. Any image will do, so just pick something you like and drop it into the project. And that is the asset sorted. We have our illustration as an SVG. We know the glasses are there waiting for us, and we have an image to reveal inside them. Now let's get the markup in place. Honestly, there is not much to it, which is part of what makes this effect so nice to build. The whole page is just 3 sections stacked on top of each other. The first one is the intro, the middle one is the spotlight, and the last one is the outro. Now the intro and the outro are really just there to give us some room to scroll into and out of the effect. But an empty section feels a little dead, so to make sure the page does not feel empty, I'll drop a placeholder H1 into each of them. Something simple in the intro at the top, and something to close things off in the outro at the bottom. With those two out of the way, let's focus on the spotlight section, because everything interesting lives in here. The first thing I'll add inside it is a div with a class of SVG container. This is going to be the home for our illustration. Right now it is completely empty, just sitting there. But in a moment, we are going to inject the entire SVG into this div with JavaScript. So think of this as the stage that the glasses are going to stand on. And finally, we need one more container. I'll add a second div and call it Spotlight Header. This is the one that holds our headline, the text that reveals itself word by word once we have zoomed deep into the lens. So inside it, I'll drop another H1 with some placeholder content, the line that will appear over the glasses at the end of the effect. For now, it is just sitting there quietly in the markup, waiting for us to animate it in later. And that is all for the markup. Now let's get to the styling. First, the housekeeping. I'm pulling in the font, adding a quick reset to clear the default margins and padding, and switch to border box sizing, then setting that font on the body. Next, the headings. All our H1 get uppercased, set bold with the line height pulled in tight, and the font size scales fluidly so it looks right on any screen. I'll also add a quick rule for images so they fill their space and cover it properly, which we'll need for the image inside the lens later. Now the sections, each one takes up the full height of the screen with overflow hidden, so nothing spills outside during the zoom, and the text goes white across the board. The intro and outro get a dark background with their text centered, and the spotlight gets that warm coral background you can see on the side. Then the illustration. The SVG container fills the entire spotlight section, and the SVG itself, once injected, gets pinned to the bottom center so the character stands on the floor of the section. There is also one small detail specific to this illustration. The lenses come filled with their own color, so left alone they would show as solid shapes on the character's face. I'll recolor those two lens fills to match the coral background so they blend into the section and read as empty glass before the image reveals inside them. This part is tied to this particular doodle, so do not worry about the exact selectors. Then the headline. I'll center the spotlight header in the section, give it a width that lets the text wrap nicely, and push it above everything so it sits cleanly on top of the glasses when it appears. And last, a small media query that widens the headings a little so things hold up on mobile. That is the styling done. Now let's start building the actual effect. Quick note on the illustration before we move on. Rather than pasting that giant SVG straight into our markup and cluttering everything up, I've moved it out into its own file. I've created a new file called Doodle, and inside it I have pasted the entire SVG, the whole illustration, every path, all of it. Then I have exported it as a single string called Doodle SVG. That is the only thing this file does. It holds the artwork and hands it off, so the rest of our code stays clean and readable. We are not doing anything with it here, we are just exporting it, and we'll pull it into our script in a moment to inject it onto the page. So with the artwork tucked away in its own file, let's get to the script. At the top, I'll bring in everything we need. First GSAP, which is going to drive all of our animation. Then two of its plugins, ScrollTrigger, which lets us tie animation to the scroll position, and split text, which we'll use to break our headline apart so we can reveal it one word at a time. Then Lenny's for smooth scrolling. And finally our Doodle SVG, the illustration we exported a moment ago. Then one quick line to register the two plugins so GSAP knows about them before we start using them. Next I'll wrap everything inside a DOM content loaded listener. We are about to reach into the page, find elements and measure them. So we want to be sure the page is fully ready before any of that runs. Everything from here on lives inside this. First thing inside the smooth scroll setup, I'll create a new Lenny's instance, then tell ScrollTrigger to update every time Lenny scrolls, so the two always agree on where we are on the page. Then I'll hand Lenny's over to GSAP's own ticker so they run on the same clock, and turn off lag smoothing so nothing stutters on a slow frame. This is my standard Lenny's and GSAP setup, and it gives us that buttery scrolling for free. Now a couple of constants. Because we are about to create SVG elements by hand in JavaScript, I need to store two namespaces up top, the main SVG one and the older Xlink one. SVG elements have to be created with their namespace attached, otherwise the browser does not treat them as real SVG. So keeping these in variables just saves us repeating those long strings over and over. Then a settings object to keep all the knobs we might want to tweak in one place. The image will reveal inside the lenses, how many glares we want sweeping across each lens, how far we zoom in, and the focus point for that zoom, the spot the whole thing pushes toward, which I've set to sit right over the glasses rather than the middle of the face. With the settings ready, let's get the illustration on the page. I'll take our Doodle SVG and drop it straight into the SVG container we made earlier. Then I'll grab a reference to the SVG element now that it is on the page, and I'll create a defs element, which is where an SVG keeps reusable definitions like the clip paths we are about to build, and insert it as the very first child so it is ready and waiting. Last thing here, two empty arrays, one to collect the glare bands and one to collect the lens images, both of which we'll be creating in a moment. We'll need to reach all of them later from the scroll, so we'll store them as we go. Now the clever part, we need to find the lenses, and instead of hunting for them by some ID or class, we'll let the illustration point them out for us. If you look closely at the artwork, each lens has a soft white glare drawn over it, and every one of those glares happens to be set to the same low opacity. So I'll grab every path in the SVG and keep only the ones sitting at that exact opacity. That hands us our glare shapes, and through them, our lenses. It is a nice little trick because it keeps working even if the artwork shifts around, as long as those glares are there. Now I'll loop over each glare we found, and for every one, rebuild it into a little window of our own. First I'll grab the lens itself, which is simply the shape sitting right before the glare in the markup. If for some reason it is not there, I'll skip it, then I'll measure that lens to get its exact position and size, which we'll need for everything that follows. Next, the clip path. I'll create one, give it a unique ID, and drop a clone of the lens shape inside it. This clip is what keeps everything we add contained to the round shape of the glass. Anything that falls outside the lens simply will not show. Then I'll create a group and point it at that clip path. So everything for this lens, the image and the glares, lives inside it and stays clipped. First into the group goes the image. I'll create an SVG image element and point it at our lens picture. I'll set it two different ways, the modern one and the older one, just so it loads reliably across browsers. Then I'll position and size it to match the lens. Tell it to cover the lens rather than stretch and set it to fully transparent for now so it stays hidden until we fade it in, and I'll push it into our images array so we can reach it later. Then the glares. Instead of the single static highlight from the artwork, we are building moving streaks of light that sweep across the glass as we zoom. So I'll work out a width for each band and a sweep distance long enough to carry it all the way across the lens and off both edges. Then I'll loop, creating one tall white rectangle for each glare, spacing them out evenly and parking them just off to one side so they are ready to sweep in. Each one gets pushed into the glare array along with its sweep distance so we can drive it from the scroll later. And finally the swap. I'll slot our new group into the SVG right where the old glare was, then remove the original glare completely so the static highlight is gone, and in its place sits our group, a hidden image and a set of glare bands, all clipped neatly to the shape of the lens. By the time the loop finishes, both lenses have been quietly rebuilt into little windows, just waiting for the scroll to bring them to life. With the lenses rebuilt, let's get a few things ready before we wire up the scroll. First, the headline. I'll grab the heading inside our Spotlight header, and as long as it is there, I'll run split text on it to break it into individual words. Then I'll immediately set all of those words to fully transparent because we want them hidden right up until the end when we reveal them one at a time. Then one important detail before we animate, I'll set the transform origin of the whole SVG to our focus point, that spot over the glasses, and set the transform box to fill box so that origin is measured against the SVG itself. This is the thing that makes the zoom push toward the lens instead of scaling out from the center. Without it, the whole effect would grow from the wrong place. And last, I'll grab a reference to the Spotlight section since that is what we are about to pin and drive everything from. Now the heart of it, the scroll trigger. I'll trigger it on the Spotlight section and stretch the whole animation across a few full screens of scrolling so we have plenty of room for the zoom to breathe. I'll pin the section so it locks to the screen while the effect plays. Keep the spacing so the page still flows correctly afterward, and turn on scrub so everything is tied directly to the scroll position. Scrub is the key here. It means nothing plays on its own. It all moves exactly as fast as you scroll. Everything else happens inside the onUpdate callback, which gives us a progress value that runs from 0 to 1 as we move through the pinned section. So from here, every piece of the effect is just driven off that single number. First, the glares. I want them to finish sweeping a little before the zoom does, so they land while we are still on our way in rather than right at the end. So I'll remap the progress so the glares complete a bit early. Then for each band, set its position along its sweep distance based on that. The result is light streaking across the glass as we move in. Next, the zoom itself. And this is really the centerpiece. I'll build a scale value from the progress that ramps up using our zoom setting and apply it to the whole SVG. So as you scroll, the glasses grow from a small detail on the character's face, fill the screen around the halfway point, and from there keep pushing deeper into the lens. Then the reveal. Once we pass the halfway mark, I'll start fading the lens images in, mapping the back half of the scroll to take them from hidden to fully visible. So just as the lens fills the screen, the scene inside it quietly comes into focus. Before halfway, the images stay completely hidden, so there is nothing to see until we are close enough for it to land. And finally, the headline. I want it to appear near the end once we are deep inside the glass. So in the last stretch of the scroll, I'll reveal the words one at a time, each one popping in as the scroll crosses its share of that window. Before that range, the words stay hidden, and after it they all stay visible, sitting cleanly over the scene inside the lens. And that is the whole effect complete. As you scroll through the Spotlight section, the glares sweep across the glasses, the view pushes into the lens, an image fades in inside the glass, and the headline reveals itself word by word over the top. 4 little pieces, all driven by one scroll, coming together into a single smooth moment. Hope you found the video helpful. See you in the next one.